Echo, echo, echo.
From ServFX with Guy, and we're having a look at the new wing from Duotone, the Echo.
The wang. The Echo, yeah, with the boom.
It's got the boom.
The
So
window.
this is the new boom wing from Duotone. A few little changes versus the old one. They've added an oval shaped boom, so it's a little bit easier to grip, but also an oval shape gives it a bit stiffer. And some things they've done to improve the ride. In particular, you'll notice there's a string on here that holds the draft, so it keeps it nice and stable.
It does, it makes it, yes, be able to hold a lot more power. So we're finding there's no pushing back in your face when you're overpowered. So when you get hit by a gust, it seems to really handle any sort of wind, even on the 5-inch strong wind is really impressive compared to last year.
Yeah, the biggest improvements for that gives you improved wind range, and so you've got a little bit of a change to the tension. So the whole skin on this wing now is quite tight. You've got the leech, which is the trailing edge, it's got some tension in it, so it lets you pump it a bit better. It doesn't flop around as much, and having that dihedral shape at the front really just holds a nice profile when you hold it in your hands, and it just has the wings spill off the wingtips as opposed to just trying to pull you off on your face all the time.
Yeah, so feedback when you sheet on is a lot more grunt, so you can feel it when you sheet on compared to last year's. It's very, very taut.
Most guys have been going kind of a size up on what they had previously because you can have a little bit more control, particularly on high wind, but then you got better low end. Now they have done a couple bigger sizes like a 6 and a 7, and they've got a bit more trimmed up wingtips, so obviously, 6 and 7 square meters is getting pretty big. I'm 6'2", and for me to hold a 6, which is the size that I have, I can actually clear the water quite well, but even shorter guys are not having too much trouble with it either.
Great point. Yeah, you can go up a size because you can handle it in stronger wind too. So, yeah.
So, we've been doing quite a few of these lately. It is a wing that is easy to use. I am by no means a pro at wingdinging yet, but it's something that I can get on, and having the boom really, I find it just nice and simple because you can move your hands around because you're still kind of working out placement, and when you get gusted you can slide your hand easily without having to shuffle from handle to handle, which is a little bit trickier.
And yeah, you can control the tips off the water too when you're riding. You can really, with the oval boom, you can see how you can manipulate the angle nice and comfortably, and that stops your wingtips hitting as often.
Yeah, so for downwinders and getting going, nice and easy setup. Really happy with that wing so far.
And you can drop one hand while you're flying. So we did that in the earlier videos. When you're going downwind, you've got no pressure on the wing. You can actually shuffle around very comfortably and make micro adjustments, which is awesome. When you want more power, you can drop a bottom hand really comfortably if you just need that little bit extra.
So having this tension in the canopy, it's really pretty cool because they're able to get rid of the big long battens. So you've got smaller battens, so easier pack up. And of course, you've got a nice window, not a full length window, and a split in the middle. So again, easier to roll without having to crease up your window. So if we hold it sideways, you can really see the tension in the canopy there. It's it's almost like they're getting some of the windsurfing technology through this and keeping it really tight with a tight leech, able to keep its profile and keeping the draft. You can really see that there. But you got the draft up the front, and then it's just nice and stable through the back, so it's not going to shift around. So you're not going to get this massive bulge at the bottom pushing out. That's just all kept nice and tight. So your draft is right up front where it's developing the power right behind that leading edge.
Yeah, and so that helps it accelerate too as you go faster and faster. I feel it just generates more apparent wind. As you sheet on your bottom hand, you can really choke it. It doesn't seem to stall out unless you get it to its maximum, and apparently these might fold a bit and it stalls, but I haven't yet done that. It seems to accelerate.
It keeps going and going
massively.
and going.
We're actually testing it against guys on 6s. I'm on a 4, and the 4 will go past someone on an old version 6.
Yeah.
And accelerate probably 20% or 20 degrees higher upwind at points.
Yeah, so you just locks in, upwind's easier, you're not bagging out, flopping around when you're trucking upwind, so it's really nice easy
so
setup.
It generates more and more speed, and it handles more wind, and it's amazing. We love it. It's really good. Really good.
It pumps.
Pumps.
So it pumps. And now, so you do have a few little tricks on it. Like you do now have a dump valve. They added, used to kind of deflate it from the inflate valve. A dump valve just makes that a little bit quicker, so you just pop that. It's a dedicated thing.
And even if you do have the old versions, you recommended that you let it down with the inflate valve because they didn't have a dump plate valve. But when you are finished, close it up. So you don't need to do that with this anymore. Let it down with the dump valve. Leave that shut.
Easy. So you got 2 different sizes in the boom now, because you've got obviously a longer boom for the bigger ones.
Yep, so we've got the extension down here that you've got to use if, say, you get the longer boom. So you'll need the extension on different size wings. We're going to do a bit of a rigging video a bit later on this, because
so you'll see the little
it's not hard to work
dot
out.
with the eye over here, and you can click that, and that'll take you to the rigging video.
Just want to cover 141 is the length of this. A lot of people need to know that that's 141, and then you add whatever to make the light wind setting and the strong wind setting. So if your maths is good, I think it's about 32 to make 173. 141 and 32 is 173, and then there's only another option at 34 to make the 175. Boom comes up. It all folds down into the length of that batten pretty much, and this fits inside the bag.
Yeah, the bag's quite a bit shorter now, so packing up is nice and easy.
With that extension, obviously the tighter setting is for your windy days. What you'll find when you really outhaul that boom to the 175 setting that they recommend, with the bent over palm tree, that means windy, you actually generate a little less bottom end off the mark because the sail's so tight. But if you belly it out with the light wind setting, you'll get a bit more power off the mark for lighter wind. Stronger wind though, tighter tension through the whole canopy makes you accelerate better and handle stronger wind.
Hi, I'm John from SurfFX.
Bonjour, je suis John de SurfFX.
In Italian?
Ciao, sono John di SurfFX.
Spanish? Espanol?
Hola, ¿qué tal? Soy John de SurfFX.